Everyone. Powerful, West Coast wise. SW, Black Justice. It's been a couple of days, 793rd. Raphael Stratura. Raphael, you come on with a great number of names. But what's going on? You said you got an idea. What's your idea? Everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button and share this on your other pages, your Facebook and your Twitter, Instagram, whatever, to share it out. Text the brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Today I got a little engagement I got to take care of. So we got to do the class a little bit early today. But what's this idea you have, Raphael Stratura? Uh, which Mahadi are you talking about? The the one from Jersey or the one that rests in Jersey now? Tell you my little power supply. Justice, which all right, yeah. They actually got a regular call that they do, La Illuminati. Allah is real. But they got a regular call that they do. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with which justice is that. The one thing I'm noticing is that 7 o'clock seems to be my hour because it's taking us a while to get the What Did I Miss crew up in here right now. And I noticed my late night. So I take it you didn't get. I take it you didn't get. Yeah, I gotta go in the daytime today, smoked out, because I got a little engagement I gotta do this evening. So we had to step in early. What's going on, smoked out? So I take it you didn't get your alert, smell good. But I actually looked at the stats and it said only 10% of people is getting the alerts. So I guess that's a whole phenomenon right there. It said that most of the people is just coming from the browse features or something. I'm not sure what that means. You don't get your notifications either. Well, like I said, that's why you gotta hit the like button and you gotta share this on your other pages, on your Facebook or your Twitter, your Instagram, and who knows? I guess we gotta stick with the each one teach one, and maybe after a while, YouTube will show you a little bit of respect. Plus, don't forget the stuff that y'all be talking about. What's this idea that Hereafter? You said you had an idea. Wait, you can link the live to your IG. I gotta figure out how to do that. How you do that? Oh, you put the hot link. Yeah. Oh, I gotta check that out. Put the hot link in your story. But yeah, let's link out a couple more people. Uh, it's the green one. You said, why do we let the half original man what? You wanted to ask you about why do we let the half original man? The wordsmith. And I was talking about Columbus when they said, why do we let the half original man discover the poor part of the planet Earth? The half original man they talking about is Columbus. When you said we were we already there, who you talking about we? I bet. No, I'm telling you, it's not me. It's y'all. This stuff y'all be talking about on here. YouTube don't wanna they don't wanna have to get called into Congress to explain the stuff that the wordsmith be talking about. That's why when I get to 1,000, man, can't be associated with y'all. Yo, Mr. Green One, what happened when you got back out to Chicagoland? Smooth Down said in that degree when it says the black man knows every part of the world. Thus we didn't care. Is that to say we knew the earth and chose the best? Is that to say we knew it from being there as original people have been everywhere, in that case the Indians? Indeed. They see you gotta you know, uh in particular, right, when you look at the science of civilizations, you know what I'm saying? Uh these civilizations was chosen for a particular reason. See, they was chosen because, when we deal with what's the best part, right? We say 23 million square miles. So when oh wait, Mr. Green One, oh yeah, that's right. You know something? I didn't even that's my fault. I didn't Mr. Green One is the new Mr. 120. So when Calm Islami comes in, we're gonna have to serve him. We're gonna have to serve him with his papers that you're no longer Mr. 120. Mr. Green One is the new Mr. 120. All right, you got your flag. All right. Celebrated the God born day. Yeah, tell the God I said happy born day too. Uh, Perhaps he'll come on today. We get a chance to say it in person. But yeah, no doubt. Congratulations to the new Mr. 120. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but getting back to what I was saying, it was smoked out, right? That when we look at the degree, it say the best part, right, is the 23 million square miles. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you look at it at the 29 million square miles, right? You see the wisdom there, right? And you know, the wisdom is, represents water. You know what I'm saying? Water represents wisdom. So when you look at the science of the different civilizations, right? You get all right, no doubt, True Divine came in. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the 23 million square miles or the 29 million square miles, either way, you get uh, wisdom born or wisdom understanding. And we know that, the understanding is the fruit. You know what I'm saying? And the actual food and things of that nature that we can grow, that's so fruit. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at the science of civilization, you know what I'm saying, you always see that it is by water. So you got Nile River Valley civilization, you got Indus River Valley civilization, L7, what's the deal? You got Mesopotamia, which is the Tigris and Euphrates, you know what I'm saying? You got Yellow River civilization out in China. You know what I'm saying? You got uh even in Europe, you know what I'm saying? You got like the Danube, you know what I'm saying? The the Mediterranean, you know what I'm saying? You got uh the Mississippi River Valley, you know what I'm saying? You got the Amazon River, you got uh the Rio Grande in Mexico, you know what I'm saying? You got the whole I don't know if you ever how much traveling you did, but if you travel through the Northeast, you see it's what they call watersheds. You know what I'm saying? Where all the mountains and all the streams and everything and how they all run uh into the Atlantic Ocean. You know, this is where civilizations was built. You know what I'm saying? So, people had to literally go to all of these places, you know what I'm saying, and see where was the best part. Did you does that answer your question, Smoke Out? Everybody do the each one teach one, hit the like button and share this on your Facebook page. Just take a minute real quick so we can get the rest of the wit that I missed through because everybody's gonna be uh saying, man, yeah, yeah, snuck in the daytime on us. And also I'm gonna tell you something. That's one of the you know, the idea that we didn't travel all over, right, is a part of European propaganda. You know what I'm saying? That different we had different limitations. You know what I'm saying? That we didn't have any technological advancements. Not saying that you're espousing that, but I'm just saying that you gotta look at that idea. You know what I'm saying? That somehow the Saharan desert represented this barrier for the Africans. You know what I'm saying? Or the Indians, the so-called Indians didn't have written language, or they didn't have the technology to to leave this immediate area right here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at the reality that they had chosen that best part for themselves. So I don't need to go over it. You know what I'm saying? Like what you got like one or two fruits that grow, like you want me to go all the way over there to get some figs or something. I was like, nah, but we're starting to get some of our people up in here now. Doing the knowledge. All the new people do the each one teach one. For the people that just came in, do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. Share this on your different pages, your Facebook, your Twitter. You got any more questions before we get into uh, the last days in the hereafter? The topic of today's civilization class, the topic of today's live. I would say it's just a lot of brothers and sisters get caught up and start jacking all type of other nations to get away from the original man and woman. Um, I mean, you know, I think it got to deal with True Divine says nothing wrong with a hot vacation in the middle of a New York winter. Well, you also gotta understand that the planet Earth is also the best part that we've chosen. You know what I'm saying? And so, all over the planet Earth is useful for something. And when we say useful land, I mean we use the hot Arabian desert to run the devil across. And we use the mountains, right? As the rope to bind in. So depending on what we want to do, if we want to get a little sunshine in, no doubt we might hit up Florida or some of that nature in the middle of the winter. Jarrell Boylan. Um, Smoked Hour, I think it comes down to when we start the clock. You see what I'm saying? And you know, we say that we don't have no birth record. You understand what I'm saying? When you deal with all of these civilizations, they have, we could date them. You know what I'm saying? They got what is it, the old kingdom, the middle kingdom, and the new kingdom in 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 Kem- uh Kemet, you know what I'm saying? The Hebrews have a history that could be dated, you know what I'm saying? Abraham, David, the different wars that took place. You understand what I'm saying? All of these is examples. When we say we the 5% on this poor part of the planet Earth, those are examples of 5%, on, at that time, uh, Asia Minor. You know what I'm saying? On that part of the planet Earth. You see what I'm saying? But for me, where I disagree is with when we start looking at these as all different people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they go through all the scientific this and scientific that, but at the end of the day, when you check the Human Genome Project, it to me it illustrates that all people is related. You know what I'm saying? That there is in fact a root of civilization, and from that root we've expanded out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for everybody that's on here, where you at is Mecca. Like, yeah, on a national basis, you know what I'm saying? We got a root of civilization, right? In Mecca, Harlem, New York. You know what I'm saying? Which is the first place where this knowledge and wisdom start being manifested, you know. But from that, brothers have branched out and made their home all over. You see what I'm saying? And then the history in that place is the history in that place. You know what I'm saying? Just like the history of Mecca, uh, you know, for the nation is the history of that place. True Divine said the funny thing is my parents are from Panama, from very close to the equator, meaning only heat and hot rain. Well, we also, we can identify the, the equatorial region, you know what I'm saying, as also the best part. You know what I'm saying? When we look at uh, the the early civilizations, you know what I'm saying? Where civilization thrived, we see that it often thrived most, inside a certain latitude latitudinal range. You know what I'm saying? And we're particularly, we particularly thrive within those latitudes. Like when you buy different food, like if you buy cereal and you see that it's fortified with different vitamins and minerals, the reason for that is because when you outside of the equator, you're not eating certain foods that give you those vitamins and minerals, and you also you're not getting enough sunlight. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting enough sunlight, and so especially for original people, where we need a certain amount of it because our skin is dark. We're not able to thrive, uh, to our fullest potential. When we outside of a range from the equator. Ville came in. So, but yeah, getting back to what I was saying with Smoke Down in terms of, when we look at these different instances, right? These are just different examples of who the 5% was, right? At a given time in a given place. So the brothers in Kemet, you know what I'm saying? They was the 5% in their time and their place. You know what I'm saying? They educated, you know, the world uh in their time. You know what I'm saying? The the Hebrews, I mean, I guess depending on how you see the Bible, uh, but they enlighten the world on certain things. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, it's just very involved with you, believing in their God. But their recorded history, right? Has been, it there are some historical elements of it, but that's how they chose to apply supreme mathematics in that time, in that place. You know what I'm saying? The brothers in uh, Machu Picchu, or what's that other place they got that's out there it's in Southeast Asia. Uh, it's like a big temple, and it's uh, it's in ruins right now. Like they just found it very recently, like in the 20th century. It's is it in Thailand? It's in one of those places like that. You know what I'm saying? And they got temples and everything they built out there. You know what I'm saying? Buddha. He was the 5%. Yeah, that's it. Angkor Wat. That's it. Very wise brother, smoked out. Magnetic wise. You know what I'm saying? But those brothers that was in Angkor Wat, that's how the 5% in that place, in that time, chose to live out the supreme mathematics. You know what I mean? So, to me, uh, it's not that I doubt, uh, what they teaching. You know what I'm saying? That we was all over in at the 5%, in whatever day and whatever time has manifested what he manifested. Yeah, I'm building magnetic wise. You know what I'm saying? Right now we having a little early class because I got to go do some. I got an interview later on. Uh, so right now we're gonna get this out the way early. You know what I'm saying? Nothing comes in the way of supreme mathematics. But like I said, now once you start to place one thing over the other, you understand what I'm saying? It's not that I think that, we greater than the Egyptians, so that's why I'm not into Egyptology, or what they call it, the Kemetic science. You know what I'm saying? It's just that this is our place and our time right now. You know what I'm saying? And we got the purified mathematics, right? And we know who we are. So we able to build on that same level. You know what I'm saying? It's these things is great because it gives you an example. It gives you an example of you know, it gives you an example of what the full potential is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you coming from a condition that we coming from here in the wilderness of North America, right? Where we lost the knowledge of self, right? We lost the knowledge of our accomplishments. We lost the knowledge of what our potential is to be, right? Then, uh, to know that the original man first did brain surgery. You know what I'm saying? To know that the original man, built pyramids. You know what I'm saying? To know that, the original man was the first scientist. You know what I'm saying? And all these different things. It allows you to know what your potential is, but it's not going to make you that person. And that's in anything in life. That's in anything in life. Right now, we can't apply all the same science, you know, and no, shout out to the Hebrew brothers and the Kemetic brothers, but you can actually see, right, that they have a little more difficulty sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they have a little bit more difficulty because uh the culture that they teaching, right, doesn't match up 100% with the culture of the people that's around. See, we come to the people as the people. You know what I'm saying? Like when I came into the science of this, when I saw the people, they looked just like me. They was explaining the situations that I'm going through right now. You know what I'm saying? I was able to identify with the solutions that they was suggesting. As opposed to you start telling me about things that happened, 3,500 years ago, and this guy couldn't find a hotel or whatever for his family to stay. So, he's in the manger and all that, he's in the barn. These is don't get me wrong. You may find yourself in that position, but I'm saying in general, that's not the main thing that we up against. You know what I'm saying? We not up against somebody that's just trying to kill our firstborn or whatever. We up against somebody that's trying to kill all of us. And so we got to apply mathematics in that way right now. Smoke Dollar said it's peace with them brothers, but I can't do the Africans are different people thing. When you start getting there, for me, it's a little pseudo. I mean, well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is that, now you separating the black from the brown. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, you separating the black from the, we're really separating the black from the brown and separating the black from the black. Christopher Gooding, but yeah, that's where, it starts to run into different issues, where, for me, it's like, okay, if, we talking about, like, for instance, the indigenous movement, what I mean? Shout out to the brothers that, is down with the indigenous movement. But, we still have the question of, are these people related? You know what I'm saying? And, where's their origin? You know what I'm saying? Like right now, if you if you go to South Africa right now, let's say it's me. I've never been to South Africa before, right? If I go there now, I'm gonna see a whole bunch of Caucasian people. Do that mean they're indigenous there? Because when I got there in 2020, I saw them there. Like a lot of things they might say, well, yo, when Columbus came, yeah, you saying it in 1492, everybody that Columbus saw there, first of all, it wasn't one people. There's all kinds of people that have, from the Pacific Islanders to the Vikings to the Chinese, you know what I'm saying, to Africans, to, you know what I mean? It was all kinds of people here. Or you could say is what was there when you got there. But to necessarily say, okay, now these people is indigenous. Nah. Like Justice said, it's not only the devil calling our people African. Indeed, Universal Seven, peace to God. You caught up with us early. Yeah, we in here early today because I got a little engagement later. You know what I'm saying? But everybody do each one, teach one, hit the like button, and share this on your pages so we can get the rest of the brothers and sisters in here. We still missing a couple of people, but indeed, you know, um, yeah, you gotta let people have their own thoughts. I don't always try to, figure out why everybody else is doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Because then you get too far into speculation. You know what I'm saying? And you start, you know, just because you think a certain way, that don't mean that everybody thinks that way. You know what I'm saying? For me, uh, one of the things that, it's like, you know, once you have a kind of, really when you're going into the God degree, if you've bought in to why the devil called out people Africans, right? Which is to make our people in North America believe that the people of that continent are the only people they have. And here's the part, and they're all savages. So if you've bought into that, then yeah, you want to separate from that kind of history. You know what I'm saying? In the past, because and like I said, I don't want to say this. I really haven't gotten that deep into it. So maybe somebody who deals with that, they could explain a little bit more. But here's the bottom line: that's not new. Black people have been claiming to be part Indian for, you know, over a century because, you know, in their minds, that made you a step above just being a regular nigga. Did anybody watch Henry Louis Gates, right? The dude that was he's a professor, I think, at, is it Harvard? I think he was a professor at Harvard, a history professor. And he had a series on uh he had a series on PBS, right, where they was doing the DNA of different people. Shout out to Henry Louis Gates, by the way. You know, I actually met Skip a couple times. It is Harvest Smoked Out. I actually met Skip a couple times. You know what I'm saying? And he was real, like, he stopped, come through and hollered, man. Like, yeah, what's up, man? What's the brothers doing out here? Kicked it for a minute and everything. But I met him like two or three times just on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Henry Louis Gates. But he had yeah, when he got arrested that time, that was extra funky how they did him. But uh uh he had a series, right, where he was researching people's background through their DNA. And did anybody see the one that he had with Quincy Jones? Oh yeah. Now, yeah, that whole episode, that was something different. When I met him, he was a cool, down to earth brother. You know what I'm saying? He came through, hollered at the whole block. But did anybody see the episode that he had with Quincy Jones on it? Yeah, a little bit slow on the draw today. You know what I'm saying? But he had a episode with Quincy Jones. And so first, before they reveal the results to everybody, they would ask them, well, what do you think? You know what I'm saying? Like all of the right, Ben Affleck. I saw that one. I saw the Ben Affleck one too. But when they asked Quincy Jones, and he was talking about, yeah, I'm part Indian, and I remember my grandmother, she had this, hair, and she used to always be brushing in the nighttime, and, all these memories, yeah, yeah, I got Indian in me and all of this. But then when his test came back, he was 50% white, 50% black, no Indian in him. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of nothing new. You know what I'm saying? I think was it Oprah Winfrey? It might have been Oprah Winfrey or Whoopi Goldberg that she was saying that she was black. You know what I'm saying? And that she used to always get teased when she was younger. By because her hair was very kinky as opposed to the other kids, and they would always be saying, yeah, I got Indian in me, and you just black. But then when her test came back, it turned out that she did have some Indian ancestry. So, I'm not going to say that's what the whole movement is about, but, kind of that desire to be anything but black is not really new. But now let's go into the John Ireland piece. Uh, the last days and the hereafter. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, we get into a little current events. in terms of, you know, uh, this is actually the last day. Tomorrow is the election, and you can see, the degree being manifested all on the business, all on the business. Well, let me finish my point and I'm come back to that. You know what I'm saying? But you can see right now, right? Uh, you know, everybody got different things that they hope to live to see tomorrow. Everybody got certain things that they hope to live to see. You know, everybody got, in terms of the presidential aspect of the election tomorrow, right? You know, right? Black Justice said any black man or woman with so-called good hair was mixed with Indian. But really, a lot of them just got white in them. Plus, everybody in Africa don't necessarily have kinky hair. It is something that is characteristic of a lot of West Africans. You know what I'm saying? But it's not universal. So that's another aspect. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but we can see that you got some people that you know they hope to live to see tomorrow. Some of them hope to live to see Trump taken into hell. Some of them hope to live to see Biden taken into hell. You know what I'm saying? This is the last days. But you know what ends up happening for a lot of people? See, because like I said, man, the last days don't mean it's not going to be no days after this. It just means it's the last stuff that happened right here. And see, that's what happens to a lot of people. Then it's anticlimactic. Because you see, we don't believe in a mystery God. It's not like we believe that okay, after tomorrow, then Jesus and the saints is going to come marching in. See, when you get to the hereafter, right? What are you going to do then? District 120, Mr. Supreme. Was I guess we gotta let him come in his own time. You understand what I'm saying? But when we get to the hereafter, then what? Then what? Like if you believe, in some type of savior that exists outside yourself, right? Then maybe tomorrow you think, you're gonna reach a hereafter where there's nothing that you have to do. And which is related to what I wanted to say to all on the business is a brother uh, came in the comments of a live not too long ago, and he had an idea about reparations through banking. You know what I'm saying? He actually posted a link to a video. I watched the video, but it didn't go very in depth, at least as far as I didn't really get too much of an understanding of what the bank would accomplish and how the bank would go about accomplishing it. You know what I'm saying? And he was asking, and I had mentioned that that bill that you sent me. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the the like you had some legislation that You could lobby to have it pushed through. You know what I'm saying? In terms of different people having different plans. You know, knowledge of love. You know what I'm saying? How many people, actually have a plan for what they're going to do. See, because you know, that's what, has derailed a lot of the benefits we could have achieved from the different things that we did. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you say, free at last, thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Free to what? Or this idea of the promised land. When we have this idea that, yeah, somebody's going to hit a switch, right? And then, we're going to be saved. This religious concept is, is causing us not to be able to get the best part from the things that we're doing. But you said peace to the sister Asada Shakur on that note. Which note? I said something that but yeah, shout out to Asada Shakur without question. You know what I'm saying? But uh what brought her into the conversation? Oh yeah, New Jersey, yeah. New Jersey and highways, yeah. For that matter, yeah. Shout out to lots of brothers and sisters that have paid the price for being driving while black on the New Jersey highway. There was a whole period of time where I would not drive in New Jersey. I'm not riding in the passenger seat, the back seat. I'm not going to Jersey. there, there was years not going to Jersey. You know what I'm saying? But that was at the end of the day, that was the most dangerous part of the Black Panthers. It wasn't that, you know, they robbing drug dealers or that wasn't the most dangerous part. The most dangerous part is that they was taking the initiative to be the savior for their own people. You understand what I'm saying? The programs that they started. See, that's what's the most dangerous part. If you can produce your own change, right, to make the world a better place for you, then you're dangerous. All of the business brought up WIC. Which aspect of WIC are you bringing up? The Panthers started WIC. Man, I know the Panthers started a lot of programs to feed women and children, but WIC is also, or not for nothing, they could have gotten the idea from them. You know what I'm saying? But WIC is also a part of uh, negating the civil rights movement because one of the things uh, that they felt could short circuit the the black man getting any benefit out of the civil rights movement was to focus on women and children. Because if you bring up women and children, then all of a sudden you kind of, you know, you can have whatever complaints you want to have. If they start saying that women and children are suffering, then your complaints is going to have to take a back seat. You know, instead of allowing our culture to thrive in a way, right, that would be family based, at least according to the traditions, uh, the traditions that existed up to that point. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, men being able to provide and protect their families. You know what I'm saying? You made a way for their family to, I wouldn't say thrive, but, you know, survive without them. Because it's the difference between, survival and living. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're dealing with the science of supreme mathematics, right? You know, if you at the level of survival, right, you can't always live out the supreme mathematics the way you want to. You know what I'm saying? You're not free from the body, and the body can't go past six. So if you're dealing with a situation where you're dealing with starvation, right, then you probably gonna start doing things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. You know what I'm saying? You might eat foods that you wouldn't eat if you was able to live out the mathematics to the fullest potential of how you see it. You understand what I'm saying? That's just one simple example of what I'm saying. But in terms of the Panthers, uh, a lot of the ideas like breakfast, feeding the kids breakfast in school, that came from the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of after school programs and things of that nature comes from the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Reveal said I got caught up in Mawa, New Jersey, still one of those sundown towns. The good brother Divine. Uh, Smoke Dowd said if you're not getting paid for 2 weeks in the fridge full of swine, you might have to make it do what it do. I mean, that's, very, very extreme. Me personally, uh, making it do what it do in that instance right there is probably going to result in somebody else, uh, somebody else having to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge, I had to do the class early today. I got a interview later. I got an interview going on later tonight. So, nothing stops supreme mathematics. That's one good thing about this right here. If we was just doing it only in physical, you then I probably would have just had to cancel it. But we got this right here, and for those that don't get a chance to tune in now, at least they can go back and check out what we built on. But yeah, in that instance, you will see that. But you know, it's also dealing with uh you know, like I said, the hereafter. You know what I'm saying? Like when different people get vilified, right? Like the Black Panthers, they got vilified. So people don't know those kind of things. that all in the business brought up. Yeah, they know about uh Asada Shakur and shootout on the highway and all that, but they don't know that the vast majority of what was going on in the Panthers was just taking care of little kids. You see what I'm saying? And when they do that, or the way they another thing, like they simplified the Underground Railroad. Like they simplify it so much, right? That most children think there's really a train involved. And how many people, right? Click, press one, right? If you thought that there was a train involved with the Underground Railroad. Let me press one. The Black Panthers was the first to, feed the children breakfast before they went to school. You know what I'm saying? Uh, have different, um, just food programs in general. What's one of the things you read about before it was taught? SW. Uh, Smoke Dawes said in the sixth grade, my teacher said, who has seen the Underground Railroad, and three-fourths raised their hand. And they probably thought he was talking about the subway. Right, Mr. Greenland. That's what I said. I mean, you realize, after a while, of course. But I'm saying that, when you just first hear the name, the Underground Railroad, and and just the way they basically only teach you that it's Harriet Tubman. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, so because all right, your parents, SW parents, gave us African American history based books along with toys. So, he knew that it wasn't just that. But yeah, for me, when they said Underground Railroad, I'm thinking train. I'm not thinking, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Smoke Dawg said if they had to go into depth on those kinds of systems, it would show their dirty religion. Halftime came in. Divine God said spirituals were sung to tell the way of the Underground Railroad. That's what I'm saying. See, all these different elements of letting people know, right? Uh, uh, you know, what we did for self, how we became our own saviors, in the hereafter of the Civil War, you know what I'm saying? In the hereafter of being brought over here as slaves, you know, in the hereafter of the civil rights movement in the case with the Black Panthers. You understand what I'm saying? By concealing that kind of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You never gonna receive that peace and happiness that you're thinking about, that you're supposed to receive, you know, with the destruction of the devil. See, we was just talking about this too, Divine God. Divine God said a lot of us are native to Tuscaloosa, means black warrior. That is a pre-Columbian tribe, 1100 to the 1600s. But we was discussing already how the original man had already been, you know, all around the planet. You know what I'm saying? That, we can't use 1492, right, as the start date. Why, son? We can't use 1492 as the start date, and we can't use uh 2000 years ago, what I'm saying, when you talk about the time of Jesus as the year one. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's what happens, like all of a sudden now you want to say this. Like I said, we discussed a little bit earlier. I was discussing earlier that right now I never been physically to South Africa. So if I get there now, there's gonna be Dutch people, right? There's gonna be British people. That don't necessarily make them indigenous. You know what I'm saying? If you go to Australia right now, you know what I'm saying, you'll see uh, you know, Caucasians too. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that they're indigenous to over there. And that's kind of where you know, these different kind of ideas about indigenous, because even if you look at certain people, uh, you know, even the original people, right? Even the original people, where you see them at now is not where they always was. You got tribes that well, you got groups of people that moved recently. What's in the name? What's the name of the is it the Anwar Dam? There's two big dams in Egypt. And at any rate, when they built those dams, right, they flooded out certain groups of people. And certain other people was deprived of their water because the water is filling up the dam now. It's not going all the way downstream anymore. And so those people had to migrate to other places. Now, when you get there from the outside, right, you don't know that. Or like the bar, you know what I'm saying? The bar, his background, his immediate background is being Yoruban. You know what I'm saying? The Yoruba, when he told us the history of over there, the location where they are now, they migrated there from Egypt, you know, but recently, in like the 1500s or something. Illuminati says many pieces to the puzzle, indeed, you know. But here's the thing: the puzzle is already constructed. It gets many pieces to the puzzle, but it's already constructed. See, the puzzle is arm, leg, leg, arm, supreme head. Luke K said, "Did you see the picture of Allah in Busta Rhymes video?" No, I didn't see it. I heard that, but so all on the business, you thought it was a train too, right? Yeah, but no, I haven't. I don't pay much attention to Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? He got good music and all, but Yeah, those ancestry sites. I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of funny business with those ancestry sites. You know what I'm saying? I mean, first of all, the first thing is that you can get different results from different sites. So that's already one question. But the other thing is, you know, you putting family members in jeopardy. Where uh, I've been seeing different news stories where law enforcement have tracked people down, right, by somebody in their family researched their DNA on these sites, and so you know they get the near match, and then they're able to tell like, okay, this person is a first cousin, or this person is a sibling, or this person is a parent or an aunt. Smoked out said a serial rapist dude in Cali got knocked like that. Now look, I don't condemn rape, so he's supposed to go to jail at the least. But I'm just saying, uh, be aware that because that's some kind of public information or something that law enforcement is using that. Yeah, exactly, smoked out. Not everybody's a raper, you know what I'm saying? But that's still so, that's the case. You know what I'm saying? But some of us, I got enough family members that already had to give their DNA up that there ain't no why. I already got enough people that gave their DNA that I'm already busted if I do something. Yeah, they got my prints, they got a man. But getting back to the topic, you know what I'm saying? Does anybody, because we all kind of get caught up in that of which one of them is, which one of these characters is the not even the best, which one of these characters is not the worst. You know what I'm saying? In terms of Trump and Biden. But like I said, other people, we, other can, other voters, other people that's making a decision, they're not just making a decision based upon what the politician is going to do. They're making a decision based upon what they're going to do. So like I said, the biggest example that we have in recent time, right, is when Obama got elected. See, uh, when other people, when they cast their vote and Obama got in office, you know what I'm saying? They had a plan. Like they had their lobbyists already prepared. They had their, different programs, their different organizations already prepared to, uh, take advantage of the opportunities that's going to be presented by this person being in office. See, like I said, that's how you got to make your vote count. See, when you make your vote count, if you just religiously doing it, right? You just religiously make this vote, like you go to church on Sunday, and then you feel like you absolved from your sins. He said if Trump is reelected, the whole white mob thing going to last a few months. It doesn't just end; it becomes a national tradition. Well, listen, uh, we may not even have, uh, we may not even have in America on the fourth. You know, I mean, we can already see that people have already taken to the streets. Like here in New York, yesterday they already had the situation. Y'all was already talking about the situation that happened over there in Jersey on the turnpike, where the truckers that support Trump shut down the highway. You know what I'm saying? The Black Lives Matter people, whoever their allies are, they turned up in New York, over by the West Side Highway. They had a little clash out there. So, you know, in some ways, it appears that we could possibly be drifting towards some type of civil war. Judah TV, what's going on? It's been a minute. Yeah, well, I heard it was more places than one that they had these people because they also apparently they caught up to Joe Biden. They ran down on Joe Biden. Like his was bus was going from one campaign stop to another campaign stop, and they surrounded the bus in their trucks. So I can't recall. I think that might happen. Did that happen in Minnesota, Devon God? And I'm just saying, when you see this kind of unrest going on all over, this what I'm saying. What we gonna do? I saw a story that in Michigan, the gun stores is cleaned out. So this is what I'm saying. That other people, they already got a plan. Now, there ain't just gonna be no election. We prepared for what we gonna do or what we might have to do in case either one of them get elected. So right now, do people think it's gonna be easier under Biden, right? Just because he's Biden and he's gonna pass laws that's gonna help us, or they think it's easier for them to approach Biden with their plan? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, all on the business, he got a whole legislation that he drew up. You know what I'm saying? That you could go and lobby Congress or, whatever political body, right? And that's how, these different proposals, these bills become law. So do you think that, Biden is going to be easier for you to lobby your bill to become law? You know what I'm saying? Do you think it'll be easier to approach him about policy changes? Because if you're not voting on him based upon what you're going to do, then you just having the religious concept continue to come up. Speaking of that, on a side note, by the way, SW, I was watching, uh, I was watching Sinetta, you know, shout out to Sinetta. And I think I get it now. I understand uh, what it is. Sinetta, his understanding is that religion and religious ideas and religious thought, right, is the most thing that's hindering original people right now from being able to do something about their freedom, justice, and equality. And so you know, having them kind of battle it out, right? And kind of expose that, uh, you know, how much mythology and falsehood is contained within these religious uh, kind of paradigms will help original people. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I always wondered, like, yo, why are these guys going into all this minutia? You know, like, what are you really proving? I didn't understand. But uh, I can understand the concept that, education is the first step. You know what I'm saying? Having actual knowledge and not just information is the first step. You know what I'm saying? And so, uh, he has to expose the difference between knowledge and information by having this, by doing this mean gene, So I'm still not going on this channel, but I get it now. I get it. At least I think I got it. Luke K said, funny thing is a lot of people voted for Trump because he claims not to be a politician, and most people are fed up with politicians. I mean, you know, in terms of, weighing and judging, yeah, that is one of the better things about him. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say necessarily good or bad, but uh, the career politician is definitely a dangerous individual. You know what I'm saying? A career politician would not have gotten caught with nearly as much stuff as Trump is gotten accused of. See, like you can see with the stuff that's coming out about Joe Biden now, right? He did things in a way, right, knowing that I'm a politician, that now I'm not going to be able to necessarily be connected to all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a non-politician, you're covering your tracks like a businessman, which is a different thing. Where, okay, there's gonna be some trouble over there. All right, let me squash off some loot, and that's taken care of. Smoke Tower said, I hope the school has an emergency plan. Which school is that? You talking about law school? Divine God said, I don't like Biden's gun law ideas. Yeah, well, that's the Democrats for you. Luke Cage said, I tell you this much, don't give up your guns for them silly ass debit cards. Is that the new thing? Is that the new cash for guns right there? That you turn in the gun and they give you a debit card? Now, Illuminati said, I find it odd. Cats be around everyone but the gods on the Busta Rhymes thing. Shout out for just naming the track Master Fardo. Yeah, I mean, you know, and this is something that always happens. When things hit the fan, you know what I'm saying? And people start looking for answers, uh, you know, that's when, that's why you seeing a resurgence, you know what I'm saying, of people who, they've always known, where supreme mathematics was. They always known, uh, you know, but some people, you know, You know when they say ignorance is bliss, a lot of that is about willful ignorance, where you would rather not know the truth. So you would rather not know right from wrong, because then you would be responsible for what you do. Just be a savage in pursuit of happiness. So Smoke Dawg was saying, as far as the school, well, you know, see, the thing is, at least from my perspective, uh, we've already been doing things. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, you got to get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? So, we got the boxing classes, you know what I'm saying, where we deal with the youth. Actually right now we got six up to 19. You know what I'm saying? We started from 7 to 16, but then we started seeing that the need was a little more involved. You know what I'm saying? I want to get more on the kind of track where Smell Goods is at, where, he don't just take the kids, uh, as children, but he kind of, you know, takes you up to the man level where it's like, he gets them into college. So in order to be able to do that, we started dealing with the kids getting a little older. You know what I'm saying? But what it's really about, at least for me, from my perspective, is just being prepared for a bigger influx of people. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like I said, right now, everybody's flossing. You still got your stimulus money and everything that you flossing with. You know what I'm saying? But when the time comes that's over, right? And now, ribs is really touching. You got to be prepared for that influx. But there's been a lot of things instituted, since the summer, where there's a food pantry, you know what I'm saying, program on Tuesdays. Uh, on Tuesdays, they give out fruits and vegetables, right? Shout out to AD a lot, you know what I'm saying? Uh, uh, I don't know exactly how he does it, but he gets boxes of fruits and vegetables, and we put them in bags, give them out to whoever wants it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Shout out to Powerful Knowledge. Powerful Knowledge has a clothing drive now. You know what I'm saying? Where he collects clothes from different organizations. You know what I'm saying? A lady actually came by yesterday, but she had some shoes that she wanted to donate to the program. You understand what I'm saying? So he does that on Saturdays. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, providing for the people, you know what I'm saying, who need it the most. You know what I'm saying? So, and the seeds is there. The seeds have been planted. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just in general, we start stepping up the level of some of the things we doing in terms of, like what I was doing, we was just doing. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been doing it for 4 years now. Uh, but it wasn't, we was just going up there as brothers doing it. But now we starting to be a little more organized, you know what I'm saying? Like getting sign up sheets and attendance sheets. You see what I mean? So like you said, as a cultural center, as a neighborhood resource, we could start to, um, tap into, uh, some of these grants. You know what I'm saying? That's available. You know, they're gonna be looking for people who can mentor these people that's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be looking for people that can lead people in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? And so, I can't say I'm 100% because, you had to really sit down and predict everything that's going to happen. But the seeds is planted, for us to do for self. You know what I'm saying? We already doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we not just leaving it up to the school system to grow the children and the men. You know what I'm saying? We got programs where we deal with them, you know what I'm saying, showing them different levels of, self-discipline, you know what I'm saying, and they learn the supreme mathematics on top of that. So, uh, the key is that, the school is that's the center, like you said, but that blueprint definitely has to be exported out, to every neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Really in the world, but specifically, uh, you know, with this channel right here, I suppose we mostly dealing with America. You know what I'm saying? We all got to take responsibility for these different communities that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Because the inner city, it's been some good things that we accomplished since the Great Migrations, where we took up residence in all these major cities. You know what I'm saying? But other things haven't gone so well. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, you know, because a problem exists, right? You could point out who's to blame for it all you want. But just because a certain person caused the problem, that don't mean that they the person that got to fix it. See, theoretically that's true. But see, the person who caused the problem may not even know how to fix it themselves. Or that might just not be the timing. So like right now, if me and you standing in front of a large school, right, and a lion comes running down the street. Now lions is not native to Harlem. So, where'd this lion come from? If you see a lion running down 7th Avenue, clearly somebody messed up here. Somebody, somebody at the zoo didn't do what they were supposed to do, and this lion is running down 7th Avenue. So it's their fault. But at the same time, whose responsibility is it to get out the way of that lion? Would you just stand there and say, yo, you know what? I ain't going to do nothing because I ain't the one that caused the problem. Well, you're going to realize that regardless of who caused the problem, you're the one that's getting ready to suffer. You're the one that's getting ready to pay the penalty. And so you're the one who has to take responsibility for getting out of the way of the line. So it's the same thing that's happening in America where you could blame Trump, you could blame Bush, you could blame George Washington, you could blame John Harding Hawkins, you could you could blame Christopher Columbus. Take your pick. The fact of the matter is, you know, we gotta get ourselves out. We in the hereafter of all those different situations that was created from each individual that I just named. We in the hereafter of that. Before that, it was a whole other paradigm, a whole other life we was living. And Carlos Clark, Boy, Shalard's in the building. CIA. Yo, CIA, I gotta come. Yeah, divine understanding. I still didn't fix the hatch yet. But what I did is I sent the shirts because they was already done. But I'm working on the hat design. That should be on the way real soon. Hmm. Like Justice said, no matter who is president, the original people will spend all the gold with the Caucasian colored man. All right, small goods going to the gym. Like Justice said, eventually the non-politician becomes the politician. That was something that my grandmother used to say, that a politician is only good for one term because once they in there for a term, then they learn how to steal, and then once they learn how to steal, they ain't no more good. You know, and she never voted until Obama. She was a non-political person for the entire time that that I knew her. You know what I'm saying? But she was born sharecropper. You know what I'm saying? And they left the sharecropping plantation to come to New York. So uh, her view was, listen, let's just do what we got to do. Plus she's coming from that religious mindset where, uh, her mentality was, let's just be the best slaves that we could be because, you know, our real promised land is after we die and go to heaven. CI, I actually got to come up top. I got to come up top to do my interview. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna start going up that way in an hour or two. Um, hit me with a text about 5:30 in case, and I think people be around everyone else except the guys because you would be examined thoroughly, and I don't think they want that pressure. Indeed, you know, but now you're in a situation where you gotta face the facts. Like now you're in a situation where you gotta face the facts. See what I'm saying? A certain amount of prosperity, you know, uh, because remember, one of the main things that spark tension, you know, whether it's, in within one race or whether it's between races, right? One of the main things that spark tension is the resources. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you got limited resources, right, and then people got to compete for them, then you start noticing that this cat over here, he's not like us. What is he doing? What is he doing drinking out of our water? What is he doing drinking out of our lake over here? And he's not like us. You know what I'm saying? What is he doing selling on our corner? You know what I'm saying? So, you've had this kind of prosperous time, you know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, in our era, really the whole post World War II era, but specifically for us, since, like the 80s, when they tell you about the, black middle class, and whatever, you know, but also in terms of the white middle class. You know what I'm saying? You had people that was born in that time, who would tell you that, yeah, they grandparents was immigrants that came here you know, $10 or something in their pocket. So they had to fight to survive. But now you got people that's been born, in time of, kind of prosperity. So, you know, you're not worried if somebody's drinking the water. He's on the other side. I don't care about that part. I'm getting mine. They say the original man has chosen for himself the best part. He didn't care about the poor part. I got mine. Let him do what he do. Now he can't drink all of it. You see, let it be a drought and this water start drying up. So, once that happens, now you realize you got to take matters into your own hands. You know what I'm saying? And in order to be prepared to do that, you need the proper knowledge, proper wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So now you're going to see people coming back. You know, you have to God light. Hmm. SW makes a point right here. Wisdom, knowing you don't go into a boxing ring expecting to win with a catcher's mitt. You know, yeah, that's what we do a lot of times. We go in, applying knowledge and wisdom that's out of season. That, this is not the time for that. You know what I'm saying? The way you teach, grown men is not the same way you teach babies. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think that's something we got to come to grips with as a people right now that uh uh you know necessarily things that was used right in the 60s, what I'm saying, marching and protesting may not be as effective as now. For one thing, you gotta recall, right? In the lessons it tells us that they continue daily. So them continuing daily means, for one thing, right, that they make adjustments. Like if you was able to accomplish something against them in one way, right, then they gonna fortify against that. And so just like I was saying yesterday, you know, up until Lyndon Johnson, right, it really wasn't necessary to worry about black people. It wasn't necessary to worry about them coming up because the apparatus just didn't exist in America for them to come up. But once you start getting the civil rights laws and policies passed, right, now all of these alternative methods, right, for holding for not really dealing with freedom, justice, and equality, all of these other alternative methods had to be devised. So, we're gonna let you into school, but we're gonna devise methods that's still gonna stop you from being successfully as successful as you could potentially be. We're gonna institute all of these war on, crime, war on drugs, war on guns, war on this, war on that. You understand what I'm saying? Even in terms of instituting those things, right? Look, we're gonna change the language. You're not gonna say nigger no more. Can't say nigger. You can't say, coon, spade. You can't say these things. So we have to say, underprivileged. You know, in fact, uh, does anybody remember when Joe Biden made that slip up during the campaign, where he made a statement something along the lines of, poor kids are just as smart as white kids. See, they adjusted the language that they're using. So what that means is that we got to continue to grow and develop too, in order to overcome the next barrier that they're going to build up even higher. Because it doesn't matter what you do, their law is still going to be the same. Destroy the black, save the brown. The mathematician. So these is the real things, Uh, I'm talking about when just like we talking about the people that's coming. Like, see, Buster Rhymes just making that record, right? Because I did hear that the title of the record was WF Muhammad or something, or Fard, or whatever, that's gonna bring a certain amount of people to you. A certain amount of people is gonna be, curious now that, listen, I heard that WF Muhammad is, he's somebody that you're familiar with. I heard that the 5% know who this WF Muhammad is. Now you can give them a history lesson. You tell them about stuff that happened. Look, so you might not be thinking like this, but look, you can tell them about stuff that happened in the last century, back in the 1900s. You realize that it's grown people now that wasn't alive in the 1900s. It's grown people right now that was not alive in the 1900s. So you're going to tell them, yeah, back in the 1900s, 1910, 1914, you starting to get a little bit Jesus. You starting to get a little bit, you know, you like Paul. Well, you wasn't even there, but you're gonna tell somebody all about it. Meanwhile, this person got present day problems that they got to solve right now. But you're gonna take the time first to know that. I mean, yeah, they're gonna come and ask you that, and so you're gonna answer the question direct and to the point, like a wise man do. But what are you going to teach? See, we got to teach that the only power that ever came and is ever coming to save anybody is arm, leg, arm, supreme head. That's it. You know, I mean things. There's a couple of things. I'm not the most well versed in these different holy books, but whenever, even in a religious context, right? Whenever God makes a move, He makes it through arm, leg, arm, supreme head. Whether we talking about Jesus or Muhammad or Moses or or Buddha or whatever it is, you know, even Mary. It ain't no, just just a snap of the finger, and this or that happens. If if even when you say, look, you know, man is made from an image. That image must have already been arm, leg, arm, supreme, head, or why we would have came out like this. If you're looking at that religious context in that way, because that's the difference between us and religion. See, in religion, we only worry about what things mean, in terms of this teacher right here or this, holy person, and not so much about what you know you're supposed to do now that you have that knowledge. So, like I said, when you're in the last days, right, and then tomorrow, tomorrow night will be the hereafter. You know, but this one might get dragged out. It might get dragged out. We might not. It might be, a month from now. How long did it take for them to how long did it take for them to settle the Bush Gore thing? That was like a couple of weeks. Like, what happens, right, if the whole thing blows up? Then what? So like I said, in Michigan, they said they've cleaned out all the gun stores. So what happens if, it just goes into unrest? What happens if, it goes into the official start of the Civil War? Not saying that's gonna happen, because YouTube, how they doing it, they're already not sending out my alerts. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying, if that happens, then what? Was you dependent on one of these people, one of these dudes or the other dude being your salvation? What happens if, some other obscure aspect, right, of the Constitution kicks in and a decision is not made tomorrow? What happens if the people who emptied out the gun stores in Michigan decide to use them? Jarrell Boylan said Walmart already removed all firearms from their stores out of fear of civil unrest after this election. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you hear people talk, yo, Trump Biden, Trump Biden, Trump Biden. I'm watching some things, man. In New York, they boarded up the whole Midtown. All the stores in Midtown Manhattan, the Macy's, the all over Soho, downtown Manhattan, they've boarded up their stores. Is all in the business still on here? What about Beverly Hills? Is Beverly Hills boarded up too? Reveal said the devil takes lives, Allah gives lives. Is that a question? But you see what I'm saying though, in terms of how everybody else is prepared. That was rhetorical. Uh, how everybody else is preparing, not just for what's gonna happen, but what they're gonna do. Here's another question. You know, let's say either side wins, right? And then, you know, we start to get some civil unrest, right? You know, you know, are we going to help Massa build a plantation back up, or will we, will we capitalize, off of these oppressive forces? Will we capitalize off of their misfortune? See, because that's what happens a lot. See, something happens, right? And see where it says he likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing. You have a comfortable position here on the plantation. You know, you're in a position where when Massa comes out in the field, right, and he want to know who ain't really been doing their work. You the one that tells them, and you get an extra piece of bacon, you get a little extra slice of bacon. So I already know if I really want to get up out of here, I'm gonna get that extra piece of bacon. See, that's kind of what you were saying, Luke Cage. In terms of, yeah, see, it's harder, at least at first, until you build the foundation that you need to. It may be harder to exist without that little extra slice of bacon. But at the end of the day, is there any bigger definition of sellout? Yeah, said, come up while they fight amongst themselves. And again, but how many of us have been drawn into this fight? Like we're drawn into this fight, you know, of how much corporate taxes is going to be. Listen, man, I'm not Target. I'm not Walmart. Like some of the stuff they fighting over, listen, man, that's got nothing to do with us. I may have a small interest in this thing, but I'm just going to look at, okay, where can I benefit? But I'm not going to get caught up in this, North versus South Civil War. I'm on the Union side. Like the Union is going to do something better than the Confederacy is going to do. See, that's a old that's an old mistake that people make. Do you know that one of the reasons that the Muslims expanded their empire so fast, right? I'm talking about back in the 700s, 600s, 700s, right? One of the reasons that they expanded the empire so fast was that people wanted to get rid of the oppression from the Roman Empire. And so they didn't fight. When the Muslims came, they said, listen, you want us to get these Christians and these Romans and these Greeks off your back? And they said, well, yes, I like that. And then the Muslims promptly jumped on their back as soon as they got the other guy off. You know, I'm gonna help you with your problem, right? But what you ain't realizing is that now I'm going to become your problem. Lowry. Reveal said it's a show out now called The Good Lord Bird, speaking on John Brown freeing slaves and getting them to fight for freedom. Hmm. What network is that on? Is that like a Netflix thing? But these are the things that we're gonna have to keep on our minds. You know what I'm saying? You know, oh, it's a Showtime thing. So yeah, Black Jess said they boarding up the stores in C Medina too. I'm sure Philly is boarding up because Philly might have caught the worst of it. Philly might have caught the worst of it. During all the unrest that's taking place in 2020. Uh, Ethan Hawke with a fictional story based on John Brown. I mean, now I'm gonna tell you something. John Brown is actually my guy. John Brown's an honorary 5%. Uh, but I'm a little bit leery about uh, what idea they might try to put across. You see what I'm saying? Like kind of in the same way that I said, like, yo, they uh they minimize and simplify, right? Things like Harriet Tubman and Underground Railroad, you know what I mean? Because, the people who was involved with that was doing for self. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna simplify and minimize the Black Panthers as just some violent prone guys that was using, blackness as a shield. You understand what I'm saying? And then they'll maximize you know, an individual like Martin Luther King or a Frederick Douglass, right? And let's be clear, Frederick Douglass is another dude. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? You say what you want to say about him, but His word was bond. You know what I'm saying? He gave his life for what he was saying. So, uh, you know, what else could you do? That being said, one of the reasons that they're gonna maximize them is because they work with the colored man in order to achieve whatever they achieve. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the whole kind of, white savior, the white savior kind of idea, you know what I'm saying? Um, I would just be aware of that kind of message being, implanted in the messaging of the show. Like Justice said, if Trump wins, he's gonna be on their ass with that looting. He already told y'all he supports the blue. I mean, tell the truth, I think either way, I think it's gonna be some drama. You know what I'm saying? Like the sides is already chosen. You know what I'm saying? If if Trump wins, Black Lives Matter and Antifa is gonna be in the street. They not gonna just cry like they did when Trump won the last time. You know, at the time, I kind of was a little bit what's the word? I was I didn't understand it. I was like laughing. I was like, yo, what's wrong with these people? Like, is it really? You know what I'm saying? And then plus, I didn't like Hillary anyways. I didn't have no problem with losing. But I think if he wins, then you're gonna have Antifa and uh, Black Lives Matter, and they allies, et cetera, uh, taken to the streets. You know what I'm saying? If he loses, you know what I'm saying, then I think you're gonna get the Proud Boys and these other factions like that. Um, Depending, on how much Biden is like, if Biden gets in there, right? And so now you're gonna start to get increased pressure, right? From groups that want to do things like abolish the police, and so you're gonna get a backlash from the other side. You know what I'm saying? I think either way is gonna be drama. It's possible. Wordsmith, we still waiting on that. We're still waiting on that dictionary. We still waiting on the dictionary, the English language, according to the wordsmith. Reveal said, I was wondering if they didn't want people to loot, why keep putting the idea in people's heads? That's going to be the reaction in the news showing stores boarding. I mean, you know, that's kind of the problem with devilishment in general, is that at some point in the devilishment, right, there's no friends. Or how they say, there's no honor amongst thieves. You know, uh, In that instance, you got different factions of people. You know what I'm saying? Just the expansion of the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like now you got 10,000 news organizations between cable TV, regular TV, blogs, podcasts, et cetera, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So back in the days, if Kennedy, or somebody like that did something, they could just call up a couple of people. Like when you only got three channels, right? I could just call up those three people. Yo, look, uh, we need you to not put that story on there because yeah, it's gonna be bad, man. Shy, man, no doubt, we got you. You see, now you could do that to certain people, but then there's other people that's like, yo, dude, this story right here, man, I cake off if I'm the first one to put this story out. I'm not down with them. They ain't give me no money. You know, I don't, is anybody, you know, we got somebody now in the room that, I wonder what it is. I don't know how they're going to handle this because right now, you need to, all your sanity and you need a well trained third eye to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because we in a time right now where you know you're not going to know who's who just by looking at them. Which I don't know if that time ever existed, but definitely at this point, we know that you're not going to know who's who just by looking at them. You don't know which organization is which organization just by hearing their name. Terrell Boylan said Amazon is already taking over the market. I wouldn't be surprised if, in the grand scheme, it has something to do with corporate competition interest too. Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. That these people they represent uh different corporate entities. Who's really the ones who back them, who back the campaigns, and these are the people who get the laws passed in their favor. You understand what I'm saying? So, for instance, have you ever noticed who's the main people that's asking for immigration? It's your Michael Bloombergs, your Zuckerbergs. You know, these are the people that's looking for that. You know, shout out to the immigrants. It's not against them, but that drives down the cost of labor. By the way, has anybody noticed how many things Bloomberg's name is on right now? I was reading something about the coronavirus, and it was said the John Hopkins Bloomberg School or something. Like Bloomberg, he might not be the president, but he's doing that same kind of thing where you invest your money, right, in the education of people. So just like they invested money in the education of us, not for the benefit of us, right, but for the benefit of what we could do for them and for the benefit of what they don't want us to do to them. So they give us a certain kind of education right? About American history. David Woolridge, welcome to the channel. Uh, we over here on YouTube as well. If you ever get a chance, uh, come over to YouTube, subscribe, you know, click like. Divine God said, I'm proud of Minneapolis for showing up and showing out. The devil is getting more and more elusive. Elusive is the devil's game. He is leveling up on how to move and how he moves. The Pizzy, welcome to the channel. Hopefully everybody's doing the each one teach one. Hit the like button when you come in. Share this on your other pages, your Facebook, your Instagram, and your Twitter. Especially this class right here, being that we had to come on early. We're gonna get some of our brothers and sisters that was unaware. So we're gonna have to share this one so everybody gets a chance to do the knowledge. SW says, yeah, in terms of uh, the many channels, that's what I do, SW. What I'm saying? In terms of the many channels that report the news, in my opinion, right now, this is my opinion on it. You have to go to all the channels in order to really get a well-rounded picture of what's going on because they all reporting on a slice of things really that they want you to know that agrees with their point of view. See what I'm saying? So if you go to a channel that's on the left, right? Then they're gonna be telling you, well, Trump this, Trump that. Yeah, Trump, he has all these cases and he's been doing this and he's been doing that. You know, if you go to the right leaning channels, then it's Joe Biden and his son. They did this and they did that. So in order for you to get a well-rounded view now, you literally have to go through all of these things. You know what I'm saying? You got to read all different newspapers or whatever, however you get your news. Bloomberg owns a major cement company now. Yeah, I'm just telling you, there's a lot of things that he's put his name on. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the things that go into what we say in terms of doing for self. You know, and Supreme Man brought this up the other night. You know what I'm saying? Where the rich people from different communities, they they invest money, right, in the institutions that's going to educate their people. You know what I'm saying? They build hospital wings. You know what I'm saying? They build, a new research building, a new research lab for the university. And they're able to have an impact, right, on the mindset of the people in that way. It's like I said, if you went to school before a certain time, right, the way you was educated on what socialism is and what socialism does is different from the way children are being educated right now about what socialism is and what socialism does. You know what I'm saying? So if you would have asked, in the 80s, if you would have went into a high school or a college and asked people, how they feel about socialism, most of them would have been like, yeah, it's horrible. But if you go there now, you have a large percentage of the kids at least saying, yeah, I'm socialist. That's the way to go. Universal 7. The rest of the album is dropping on Friday. I got the streaming. Yeah, you said yeah, streaming. The copy starts shipping out on Friday too. Um, you know, uh, the streaming, you're gonna be able to get it on you wherever you stream, Spotify, Apple, uh, Bandcamp, whatever, however you stream. 793rd Brunson brings up a good point right there too. Is that sometimes it's good to look at the international news. You know, the international news don't always have the same incentive. When you look at other news stations, they used to have one. I don't know if it's still around. It used to be one called Al Jazeera. Uh, you got the BBC. You know what I'm saying? Where for instance, the way uh, the George Floyd protests. You know what I'm saying? The way the George Floyd protests uh, uh, might be portrayed. You know what I'm saying? In other, uh, from another country's perspective. Like right now, the way when the citizens of a country, right, get into a conflict with the military of that country, and you look at the way the American news reports it, well, these leaders are they're fascists. What kind of leaders do they have over there? You know, these people are expressing grievances, and the leaders are attacking them with the army. You understand what I'm saying? Is looked at more as, they use words like repression, you know, oppression, repression. These people need to be liberated from this type of government. But in America, the news that we getting is just saying, uh, is more like a police action. Yeah, well, the people, they getting so unruly that the only thing we can possibly do to save the fabric of the nation is have some police action from the army, the military. But these news organizations is the same way though too. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with who's the leaders, right? Who's the leaders of these organizations? They got certain views that they think is important too. And they're trying to, affect the mindset of all the people, in a way that comes in tune with their views. But and over the next couple of days, of course, we'll be back on tomorrow, unless the unrest gets to the level where it affects the internet. I doubt it. I doubt it go that far. But we'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll observe what the hereafter looks like. But let's also keep in mind, you know what I'm saying, that we got to know what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Let's hopefully, man, over the next couple of days, we'll have some ideas, that flourish. But we got to start winding this down. You know what I'm saying? Do we have any last questions before we before I have to move on? You know what I'm saying? Definitely everybody who came in through the Each One Teach One, hit the like button. Uh, Share this on your Facebook, Instagram, your Twitter, your text messages, so that everybody who missed this early installment, like I said, I think I gotta just stick to. It took a while today, but we got we got our people in here. We still ain't seen Mr. Calm as normally. We haven't seen True Power. Well, tomorrow should be the regular time, 7 o'clock, the law school in Mecca, the civilization class. We on Mondays at 6 o'clock, Tuesdays at 7 o'clock is the civilization class. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we don't come on Thursdays on this channel, but on Thursdays at 7 o'clock, you got to tune into Sunya at 7 in order to get the Peace Course. And of course on Saturdays at 1 o'clock, it's also a class at the law school from a law shop, but you know he's not quite as internet savvy as me and Sunya. So not that he doesn't broadcast, but not as much as we do. I've broadcasted a couple of his classes. I might see what I can do this weekend. Any last questions? My God, be alive. I know tomorrow's gonna be interesting. Even though by the time we come on tomorrow, nothing is gonna be. I doubt the I doubt anything will be decided. I mean, of course, it may not be decided for weeks this time, but tomorrow is definitely going to be interesting. I'm expecting some fisticuffs. I'm expecting some fisticuffs the polling stations. you know, and by Thursday, I'm expecting the streets to be occupied. Trump would say he won either way. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I think I think Trump already won, right? By the fact that he got to put those Supreme Court justices. Because see, even if he wins, he can only do 4 more years. But the establishment of the court in that way, like when I was talking about, look, it's not just about who gets elected, it's about what you want to do. So right now, you got people that's already gearing up for fights about abortion. You know what I'm saying? About all different rights that's been, you know, uh, confirmed by the Supreme Court. You're gonna have different types of challenges like that coming up. So, personally, and I mean, you know, Biden doesn't really seem all together here with us, in terms of his mental capacity. Like Third said, usually by 10 or 11, let the tears flow. I mean, we'll see. Because he said, do you think it'll make a difference on who becomes president? Just your thoughts on it. I like the way you put it all together by understanding. Well, he said the woman that adopted the original kids. Who's that? Yeah, when I see you right, Biden aged a lot in those 4 years. When I first saw him again, I hadn't seen him since the end of the Obama thing. Yeah, he did. But uh, ultimately, no, I don't think it'll make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Short term, there's some things that you might get. For instance, if Biden comes in right in the short term, or in a shorter term, you're gonna get higher taxes. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh, but the policies and the doctrine of America, long term is not really going to change. Especially not, this is another factor we didn't speak about yet. On this particular, we spoke about it before, but look, man, at the end of the day, you can get an old guy in there. You know, get somebody that's, what are they, 80? So how much change are they going to bring about? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of what we dealing with is based on the situation. Like maybe in the best of conditions, they might have done something different, but at the end of the day, with the occurrences of 2020, that's going to end up taking precedent over everything else. So, like I said, Biden will probably come in immediately saying he's going to raise taxes, but taxes going up anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know, the hidden taxes is already going up in New York, where like now the parking meter people they come through like this. Where people might, you could legally park, you could go handle your business and come back real quick. Now they on you. Like Justice said, that was McConnell with that long game. That's why they let Trump do his crooked thing because McConnell had a long game. I mean, I think they all had kind of a long game that was involved with, allowing Trump to be a distraction. Oh, the get out of here! The you talking about the Barrett Cohen? Yeah, I think I did hear about that. I did hear about that. Barrett Cohen. She got adopted original kids. I mean, maybe she won't be so bad after all. Oh, I didn't. I had to pull up a video. I ignored the confirmation hearings because I already knew she was getting it. Just the basic, how the votes go in terms of D Christian. I'm back hardcore today. I'm back hardcore today with my Gatorade. D Christian, did I tell you that I don't know if I brought this up, but the other day when I got my alkaline water, also I purchased a bean pie. See, over the last couple of days, I've been eating bean pie. I had some carrot bread, you know. But we still silverback society over here. But we partook in some carrot bread, bean pie, washed down with alkaline water. Liz, somebody must have told Calm Islamly don't want to come in here and get served his papers. He'll probably see it on the rerun. All I gotta tell you, Calm Islamly, is uh I got some good news and some bad news. I'm still do the Gatorade. A cool, refreshing drink. Oh man, you missed out today, D Christian. You had to go back. You know, just but yeah, though ultimately, Pizzy, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a huge amount of difference. You know what I'm saying? The events of 2020 is more than likely gonna overpower um the events of 2020 is more than likely gonna overpower uh any kind of like just political ideology. You know, they're dealing with the outcome of their actions now too. Yeah, we was on. Yeah, we broke night. We broke night the other night. That's one of the problems. In my, the way I see it with white fragility is that, you know, if you notice, uh, Caucasian people are always asking the question, uh, why do I have to live with, what my ancestors did? And my answer to that question is always because everybody else in the world has to live with it. Like there's people who would not even be where they're at, and where they're at wouldn't be called the name that is called if it wasn't for your ancestors. So how come we got to live with it, but you can't live with it? And that's one of the problems why you see all these people is out in the street right now because they can't live with what they've done. Reach the end of the line, buddy. You have to pay that bill. At any rate, once again, everybody do the each one, teach one. Hit the like button, share this on your Facebook, your Twitter, etc., etc. Uh, the text messages. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I gotta raise up out of here and go handle this BI. But I see y'all tomorrow at 7. Peace.